everyone, it's me, Darlene. I am sitting at my sewing machine and I'm playing around with leftover pieces of fabric to add to my crumb block collection. This is just a tiny little bit of what I have been working on. I'll do a show and tell very soon about that. And I have this leftover strip set here, and I just wanted to try something, and I have no idea really what I'm doing, but I thought I'm going to turn the camera on in case I come up with something brilliant, and I want to show you, and then I won't have to recreate it. So a lot of us do strip set projects. This is just leftover, it's not even, and I can do anything I want with this to add to my crumb pile. I could cut pieces or whatever, but I don't like to cut until after the fact. I like to just find easier ways to use things than to cut up a bunch of small pieces. I like to work with big pieces and make them look small in the end. If you know nothing about crumb quilting, go check out the playlist that I have down below. I have an entire series called Crumb Quilt Adventure, I do believe it is, and you will learn more than you ever thought existed about crumb quilting. So here's a strip set. If I were to cut like this, it gives pretty big chunks of color. Sometimes I like things to look like I started with teeny tiny pieces. So what I thought I'm going to do is, I'm going to cut across the brown, and I'm going to take it, and I'm going to sew it onto the black. Let's see, I guess I could even up my ends a little bit. I don't even throw stuff like this away. I just don't. All right, we'll just start here at the top. Let's put some brown to black, and let's just sew down. And you do know wonky is allowed and even highly encouraged. You don't have to worry about being straight. Now already, look, this strip is smaller, the brown, see? But we didn't have to work hard to put small pieces together. I'm going to do the same with the black. Let's cut that baby. And let's put that here. See, it's looking more and more complicated all the time, but we did everything an easy way. You want to go one more time with the green? Let's, for the heck of it. Let's cut that in half. Let's go really crazy. And I'm going to put that here on the black. That's awesome. I'm going to go press this open. This is what I have. Now that is starting to look like it was made with crumbs, but we're going to even do something more. I'm going to trim the unevenness on the right side, and I'm going to grab any piece of fabric that's part of my crumb collection. I don't care about how wide it is. I only care that it's going to go at least the whole length of this strip. And I'm going to just put it at the very edge, the right edge, just like we would normally sew. And I'm only going to sew as far as necessary. I believe I showed this in the Crumb Quilt Adventure, but I'm not positive, and I don't know if I did it exactly this way. So I'm just showing you again. Now I'm going to open this up and just leave it there. Let's take something else. I'm going to add a space. However far away I sew from this guy is going to be how much is left when I do the cutting. So I don't know, let's go like an inch. It'll make more sense after I do it. I'm going to make it wonky a little bit. I'm just going to sew on this fabric. Now I'm going to open this guy up and just keep him out of the way. Let's go down a little bit more. Let's add an actual crumb piece that I have already started just to show you that you can add to that. So I'm going to skip a little bit of space. Let's go down. Had to change my bobbin thread. Now I'm good. All right, I'm just going to push that over. And let's see, do I have another crumb piece that will work there? This one's not quite tall enough, but that's okay. Tall enough for me. Open this guy up. So each time I push this one back, I'm leaving about an inch, inch and a half. You can do 2 inches. Do whatever you want. You know that, right? Let's see. I have a piece of this gold Let's just trim it to there. And let's add this one. You can get a couple more in. I can add a piece like this right here. I'm going to add this. This just came off one of my quilt tutorials. And I think this will be our last piece. You want to make sure that there's enough strip set left that it will be, you know, something to go with this piece, and we have enough of a separation there. Last piece. And I will just trim this off. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to the iron and I'm going to just press these all open in this direction, like all the flaps. That was so easy, but I didn't feel like bringing my iron to show you, but I opened this one, and with this hand I just pressed, and then I flipped this one and pressed. I flipped this one and pressed. I flipped this one and pressed, and then I just kept doing that, and it took me literally, I don't know, 20 seconds to have all this pressed. Now here's what we do. We start cutting, and again, I can trim these. Save those pieces, of course. Now I'm going to open these back up. Obviously, my first one is open. I'm going to cut not right at the sewing line, but like kind of close. Let's just trim right there. Open this guy up. We'll do the same here. We're going to trim close to where we sewed the other piece. Open him up. Close to the other piece that we sewed. Open this next guy up. Close to there. Open this guy up. Close to there. Open this up. And look what we have. The beginnings of quilt blocks, or we have added to blocks that we already started. So cool. You can trim at this point, or you can wait until you use the block. But there's one. And you don't have to leave this side wide if you don't want. That can be trimmed now, or it could be trimmed when you use the block. I wait because I might need a piece this size. If not, if I need something smaller, then I can trim it if I want something, you know, only like 1.5 inches wide. So there's 1, 2, this one's trimmed already, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And when I have something like this that has a fairly big piece, I might want to go right ahead right now and say, I'm going to add this to here. I'll show you. Let's just sew down. I'll press it open, and now I'm just going to cut down the center. So I just added another piece to whichever one it was that I just added to this one. Trim that. And so I already started adding on to this block, and you can see we cut this smaller so it's not like showing up so much in the quilt. Doesn't matter if it does, but if you want to make things look tiny, that's how you can do it without doing all the work. Can you imagine? We would never want to just put little tiny pieces like that together. You know, if something else is sewn onto here, it's going to look like you used little tiny pieces. But we started with one strip set of 3 pieces of fabric, and then we just added other scraps to it. So I hope this helped you in some way, and it's just a good way to get started. And it was really quick and easy, and now I have all these to build on. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!